Hello, everyone. Lori Staley, Addicted Stamper with Stampin' Up, and it is Sunday night at 8, so it is time for our Sunday Live. I unfortunately am having technical issues. I have a message on my screen that I cannot get rid of. You're going to keep working at that while you guys are hopping on. Hello, hello. Hey, Debbie. Hi, Corinne. Thank you for sharing. Are you safe down there in Texas? Corinne? Hey, Valerie. Valerie, not texted. What did I do today with your aunt D? I guess it was email. I'm so used to being on text or Messenger or Instagram. I'm like, wait, what was that? Yeah, I didn't realize she was still in Canada. We had sent her information that we were starting Mahjong up again, and I didn't realize that she was still in Canada. So, hello, Melinda. Good to see you. Hi, Donna. Good to see you. What you see laying in front of me is this month's Just Cards -1. There will be a Christmas card for Christmas in July included as well. But I was away. I was down at the retreat house the last 4 or 5 days, and I didn't have my Christmas sets with me, so I couldn't finish the Just Cards class. But there'll be a Christmas card added, and this will be our July Just Cards. So we've got a masculine birthday, really cute, I think, and with the greeting inside. Then we have one of the new charming floral papers, right? Love this. This is just blank on side. I usually leave my thank you cards blank. And then we have another happy birthday. This is more of the new charming paper. That's part of the online exclusives that just released on July 1. If you haven't checked those out, I highly recommend that you do that. And then just a cute little thinking of you as well, plus the Christmas card to come. To come, right? You'll take those cards, please? Okay. I will add you to the list. This flooding is just north of you. Okay. Oh my goodness. Well, I hope you continue to be safe. Hey, Janine, good to see you. Because I've been reading and watching and just praying, and oh my God, that camp with those girls. My heart is just broken. Broken, broken, broken. All right. So, yeah, so basically, July 1 was the big day, right? That was the release of the new online exclusives. There's some really cool stuff out there. Make sure you're checking that out. A little bit of Christmas, more to come in the fall mini. But there's a little bit of Christmas out there. I'm managing to pull some stuff together. My creativity delivered class for this month, which my husband took a picture. Let me see if I can find those quickly. I might not be able to. I have no idea. Oh, I see him. There's way too many flat surfaces in my studio. So this was in the newsletter on Friday, but if you're not a subscriber, this is my creativity delivered class for this month. You get lots of goodies in this class. In addition to these 4 projects, which you will get to make, you'll get the supplies to make 2 of each. This one, for some reason, he has sealed in a plastic bag. There we go. This is the new embossing folder that I showed you when we did the online exclusive unboxing of my pre-orders. So I kind of left that whole with just the lift there a little bit. And then these are actually the Starburst sequins that you can color the white ones with your Stampin' Blends. So how cool is that, right? But you're going to get the gold trim. You're going to get a full roll of the gold trim. You're going to get a full package of the Regal Distressed papers. You're going to get a full package of the gold foil specialty paper. You're going to, like I said, trim. You're going to get a half a pack of the sequins, and you're going to get a couple of yards of the red and white twine. And if you do not have that new Jolly Holly bundle, you can order it with your registration, and it will be $10 discount. Basically, you're not going to pay any tax or shipping from Stampin' Up, right? So I'm covering that, and that comes out just a little under $10. So just about a $10 savings if you add the bundle. And that's where all the images came from, as well as the greetings. Everything came out of that bundle. So keep that in mind. You have a little time for that since we just launched it, but that is happening in July as well. My Christmas in July class, right? I know it is devastating. I am so sorry. Hey, Carol Deegan. Okay, so tonight we're going to play with one of the kits from Stampin' Up, and it is back in stock. Thank you to my friend Christy who notified me. Or no, she notified me about a different one, but this one is back in stock. This is the Beautiful Blues kit. So if you haven't gotten it yet and you like blue, man, grab this kit. First of all, it is one of the easiest kits to put together that I think we've ever had, at least that I've played with. The instructions, I know we struggle sometimes with the instructions. The instructions are really good for this kit, but it's a really simple and quick kit. Thus why I'm making it the first item in my summer camp, right? Summer camp, you go on vacation, you go away, you want to take some creativity with you, grab a kit. It's the perfect way to take creativity on the go. And this one couldn't be any simpler, right? Especially if you just want to do them the way they are. This is what the cards are designed to look like. Lots of blues. Obviously, Beautiful Blues being the title of the kit, it would be a lot of blues, right? And I not put any greetings on the inside yet. Some of these I probably would do handwritten notes in. Others I might find a stamp that I want to put inside of it. Love this one as well. This has just a plain white back. Okay, the little tags come in there, all that little accent here that I used. And of course, these beautiful blue gems are part of it as well as a really nice thin roll. I think it's like 1.25 inch sticky tape, which is smaller than our regular tear and tape. So that's how the cards look. I just realized because I did these one day and then I worked on my alternates next. My alternate for this one is not that different. It must just have been the way it was meant to be, right? So those are how they look. Again, you get enough supplies to make 3 of each card. But tonight I'm going to share with you my alternates. And why not start with the one that is so close that I didn't even realize I had done that. But this is what I did. I cut it. I like to maximize the design of the cards that we get in the kit. So I did cut the card front off, cut it down to 5 by 4 1/4, and then put a layer of white, which I think makes all that beautiful design pop. And then I used a layer of Misty Moonlight behind it. Okay, got some of the gems on there. So this will be a quick and easy one too. No stress stamping. We like that, right? Maybe that's what we should call Sunday nights. Sundays, no stress stamping. All right, so I think I have to trim this down because I had just cut the other side off to the size that I needed. And if you see, it is the reverse. So the big group of floral imagery is on the right. Here it's on the left. Your leaves are on the opposite side. So that's okay, because one of the great things about making your own projects is that you can move that label anywhere you want. Anybody else have a hard time measuring, cutting, and talking at the same time? My mother used to say to me I couldn't chew gum and walk at the same time. And some days she was right. Some days she knew her daughter well. So we're just going to simply layer that onto basic white. And here's a really clever trick. Remember I said this piece. So if you're going to cut the front off to use the front, just go ahead and use that as your layer of basic white and save your cardstock, right? Always looking for those money saving tips too. That way we can invest in other craft supplies. And then our card base of Misty Moonlight. And then that cute tag, and I'll go ahead and put my inside piece in. We have 3 different styles of tags that are included in the kit. And I'm going to grab the box here. So this is the stamps, and we get these cute little inserts now. So we can put these in a little Ziploc bag or whatever you want to store your stamp set in, right? And then because I'll tell you this one, and it could be my eyes, this one I had a really hard time. Maybe it was the font, I'm not sure, reading the greeting. So it was nice to have this. And I have it folded up, but it does come in the different languages as well, right? So I think we have what, French and German there, maybe. Here's that cute little roll, that little thin tear and tape. Boy, I'd love to see them sell that. How about you? And then these are the tags, obviously the one that we're going to use. And then we have a smaller one, and we have this fun one with the corners or the edges on it. Okay, I'm going to pull out my gems. Those are what I have left after designing. And I'll show you the envelope too. It's a really pretty envelope. Just the flap has the decoration on it, which coordinates with all of the cards as well. Okay. All right, so let me just put all these goodies back in here so they're out of the way. I may need them in the future. We'll see. I'm going to lay this somewhere where I can see it rather than on the black background because forget it. Just forget about it. All right, so we're going to say you're in my thoughts on this one. And I'm going to do my best. I think it's this stamp. Does anybody have the Beautiful Blues kit? That's question number one. Question number two is, have you done it? Have you done the Beautiful Blues kit? Because it really is pretty and it really does make up so quickly. All right, we're using Night of Navy ink. It did come with an ink spot that found its way into my prize basket down at the nest for my door prizes. So I don't have that here with me. And hopefully I'm staying on camera, but I need that a little bit closer to me. Definitely gonna have to figure something out because my light is casting a glare, and that is challenging me a little bit more than I feel that it should. All right, and I'm going to use some dimensionals. We're going to mount that. This did come with a pack of dimensionals with it, or a sheet of dimensionals, I should say. But I'll grab my Stampin' Up! Dimensionals, since I think I put that down in the nest as well. I'm home for a day and a half, and then I'm back to the nest. So I'm going to move this over here now because we have more room on this side with the pattern being reversed than we do on the left side. Yeah, so I'm back down there, and then I have folks joining me for Open Craft Day on Thursday, and then Friday afternoon I have some folks coming in for extended stay for our 12-hour retreat on Saturday. So we are going to have a busy weekend. And then we're just going to pop on these real pretty blue gems. Remember, we do odd numbers. And ideally, what's most pleasing to the eye is if you can create a triangle, right? So there we go. Quick and easy. Very similar. Where's theirs? To theirs. Just a little bit different layering, right? Adding some depth to the card. And then I changed out the grading on it. So there we go. That is our first alternate. And then we're going to bring in something with a little color. So again, I cut the envelope this time, right? I took the envelope flap. Because, we can use white envelopes if we can make pretty cards with what's on the envelope, can't we? And then I think Fresh Freesia and Night of Navy pair very prettily. Prettily, is that a word? Did I make that up? I'm not sure. That's very nicely together. How's that? Is that better? Oh my goodness. All right, so just a layer of Fresh Freesia, which is going to go on the card front. And then we're going to go ahead and work with our envelope. So let's do that first. I'm going to grab my trimmer because it cuts straighter than I do. And I'm going to cut that off, ideally, so that I have no white showing there. This, I am saving this. I have a girlfriend that is a junk journaler. She comes to the nest often. And I'm thinking these pockets, these will make great pockets for her junk journaling. So I have a gift for her the next time I see her. All right, so then I'm going to trim up the sides so they're straight. Ideally, I of course want my entire width to be 5 1/4. So I'm going to do this very sparingly at first, just to get the edges lined up. Okay. And we're going to come over and do this and see where we're at. So I have a question for you all. And then I'm actually going to cut that bottom edge off because I just want a straight flat edge. So line that up as best I can. It's going to be about 2 3/8. And we're going to trim. There we go. So that, I don't know what I could do with that. I'm sure there's something I could do with that. Maybe use it on the inside of the card. I don't know. I don't throw anything away till I'm completely done with the kit. So I have a question for you because I am looking to eliminate Zoom, and I know Zoom has a noise canceling feature. This is not the right size. Noise canceling. Can you hear the banging in the background right now? Let me know. Hmm. Well, we're going to trim it down a little bit. We're going to go to 5 1/8. Or could you hear banging in the background? We will make it match the envelope and figure that out. Or did you hear something just fall? That might be the next question because something just fell. I've got a strip of that fresh freesia to act as a border. Um, and I should have put my adhesive on the back of my blue piece here. So we'll see how well I can do this. Oh, I think we'll be fine. Or not. Let's flip it around and fix that. I was distracted by the noise, is what happened. So, silicone pad is our friend when we find ourselves in this dilemma. My problem is, it appears that all of my silicone pad, oh, they're not where they're supposed to be. All right, so I'm going to lay that down. I'm going to mount this to it, and then I can trim off the end. It's going to be a little long. Because I'm wondering if YouTube itself has any noise cancellation on it. So that's going to lay on there like that. Let's see how off we are. You don't hear anything. Okay, good. Well, then we're going to try it some night just on YouTube and see how we do. This is going to be a little different because I cut that envelope too short. I was trying to design a card today, unsuccessfully, might I add. I finally gave up after I don't know how long. It was ridiculous. But I have a friend who was an architecture in a past life. And I think the next time I see him, I'm going to ask him to give me a fractions, which I cannot believe I need at this point in my career, but a fractions lesson because I struggled with this today way more than I should have. Okay. So we have a nice looking card here. We're going to go with that, even though I did trim it down just a little bit. And we're going to mount this to our Knight of Navy. I need a piece of white because I can't see that. Some days I think my eyes are better, and some days I wonder. All right, let's go ahead and stamp. So this pretty leaf image that I used here came in the kit. So I did not introduce any stamps that did not come in the kit. Again, same ink that's in the kit. Once and done. Grab the kit and go. Maybe take a mixed family of cardstock in case you want to add some additional color or different color to your designs. But really, it's pretty much the kit. And I love that because sometimes when I'm going down just for a day to the nest, I will just take a kit or two or three. So I stamped one going that direction. I'm going to stamp this one going this direction. And there we go. We're going to bring in our label, part of the kit, has the really cute little Night of Navy line outlining the design or the imagery. And this one I said, wishing you comfort. And that is still on here, I believe. So we're going to grab that. So I think I said I did 4. I believe it's 4. There might be 5. I'm not sure. 4 different designs, alternates, if you will. But I still ended up with, I think, 1 full card base and a half, I believe. So I still could do more if I wanted to. And I laid that on here and it looked fine, right? It looked okay. It's got the outline border that breaks it up. But I thought, I think I wanted to stand out a little bit more. And crazily enough, adding it to a layer of Night of Navy, even though our image is stamped in Night of Navy, worked, right? So we'll pop that on here. Did everybody have a good 4th and a safe 4th, I hope? And again, I'm going to use some dimensionals to pop that up with. Just gives us a little more depth. Did you have family barbecues? What did you do? Yeah, I love this kit too, Sharon. It is so pretty and so easy to work with. Oh, you're good. You're good. Oh, yeah, let's mount it upside down. Shoosh! And again, we're just going to bring in some of these pretty blue gems. Get rid of that little piece of freesia that I didn't need. We have a piece of white for the inside. We did. We did. We worked most of the day, but then we went over to my brother's for dinner. So that was nice. Got to see my cousins and some of his girlfriend's family. Well, that was very nice. And it's okay to leave them blank, right? This says wishing you comfort. We're good. I said I really was hoping, in addition to getting some color vision back, I'd be able to mount and stamp straight again, but apparently that wasn't part of it. Because you can then customize it to the specific situation. So sometimes I leave them blank on the inside just for that reason. But I think that's a really, really nice adaptation to the card and using that leaf image that they provided in the stamp set. You got to see, I didn't see any fireworks, believe it or not. That was kind of crappy. No fireworks this year. Usually we do. Well, and for years and years and years, we were always at my mom's for the 4th, which of course is the Cozy Craft Nest now. And you could sit on our back screened in porch and you could watch 3 different fireworks shows going off. And it was pretty awesome. Unfortunately, the trees have grown and you can't see any of it now. But that's okay. All right. Here's number 3. So I do believe I have 4 here for you. I love this one. It's a gatefold. Okay. And this could be an absolutely beautiful wedding card. So I might find a wedding greeting because I believe there is a wedding coming next year in my future. But we don't really know for sure or legitimately or however you want to say it. All right. So here is just thick basic white. It's a 5.5 by 4.25, scored at 2 1/8 from each end, which gives you the perfect alignment for your gatefold. If you struggle with that, if you think your cardstock might be off even 1/8 of an inch before you cut it, then I always say score the one and then just fold this one to match and then crease it, right? So that you're sure to get that great matchup in the center. This is one of the die cuts that came in the kit, minus the dimensional backing. And we're going to mount it to, I did cut this. You could do this in advance and just pop it in your kit. I did cut this Night of Navy with the textured notes dies. It's one of my favorite set of dies right now, if not my favorite. And then this is the overlay that they gave us on, that I used on this card, right? I am going to very carefully, I was successful once. My fingers are crossed that I can be successful a second time. I'm very carefully going to cut this. And it does measure just a little bit over 4. So here's what I'm going to do, because I need it to measure 4 exactly. I am going to take 1/16 off on each side. And I mean, it's barely anything, but it is enough. Well, maybe I didn't line that up right. 1/16 is right there. Interesting. This one's a little smaller, so we might be okay. I'm still going to do this. Hmm. Well, that's why. Good gravy. All right. Who saw it and didn't say anything? Who didn't tell Lori? Lori, you're cutting with the scoring blade. No, it's not cutting at all. So it definitely is longer. One more time. Nope. Okay, we're going to see what happens when I cut it at 2 inches. Okay, so I've got it lined up. Ideally, you're going to go the same direction, carefully going through those lacy cuts, and then we get pieces that look like this. Okay. All right. Let's see now if it was truly 4 inches or if it was just playing with me. Janine. Yeah, see those darn trees. Those darn trees. I still haven't figured out a way that I can actually get my eyes. My eyes are still kind of weird. I guess that's my life, and that's okay. I got better sight than I had, and I'll take it every day. But yeah, it's still, yeah, that works. Look at that. So there's a lesson to be learned. Not every die cut is the same. All right, so we are going to use our liquid glue. I was making, I don't think anybody's on here that's coming. I was making little favors, if you will, for the weekend, this weekend, and I was using liquid glue the whole time. And I was like, so happy to be done. I had liquid glue everywhere, including all over me, my table. Yeah. Give me my seal. I'm happy girl. I don't really need to put it on the big pieces there. So we're just going to, I just want to make sure these are mounted down. These little edges are mounted down tight so that they don't accidentally rip off when you're putting it in and out of the envelope, right? So wherever I have a little piece, I'm just gonna stick some glue down. Okay. And then because I didn't do the big pieces, I can use that to help me out. So there's that one. Oops. Make them stick. There we go. And we'll do this one. And yes, I now have glue on my fingers. Now, if you don't have one of those guns like my friend Janine has, which I have, and I've had since Christmas, but again, it scares me in that box. There's a lot of pieces in that box, and I'm like, oh man, I don't have the time to figure that out. But does anybody have a secret way, even using one of these, not to end up with glue on your fingers? Because I'm telling you, I don't like it. Especially when you're dealing with this tiny little detail work that you want to protect, right? I could wear gloves, I guess. Ooh, let's not put it on upside down. But I'd prefer not to put it on or not to wear gloves. I think that might impede my ability even more to line things up straight. All right, there we go. There is our beautiful front. And now we're going to get this closed up and put more glue on myself. And the other thing I like to do is have a baby wipe near me. And did I remember to do that? No, I did not. So we're going to use this and we're going to bring in one of the short labels that comes with the kit. And we have sending love. So again, this could make a beautiful wedding invitation. We're going to stamp that in Night of Navy. So each of the greetings fits one of the label types that they provided. Sending love fits very nicely on this little one. And then you have the two wishing you comfort, I think, fits both on the larger of just the straight rectangle as well as the one with the cutout corners. Okay. So I want this to open from the left side. So I'm going to make sure my adhesive goes on the back, on the left side. Otherwise, you end up sealing your card, which is really not your goal. At least it's not mine. Kind of centered. Eyeball that. Again, this is textured notes. We're going to use dimensionals on the back of our die cut. Hey, Judy, good to see you. Yeah, don't you dare. Don't you dare, Janine. That's all right. I had some checks for him. I said, well, I'll bring him. I'll bring him Friday. And I did. Before I left the house, I sat down, I wrote them out, I balanced everything. Everything was beautiful. And then I promptly picked them up and put them back in the butler's pantry with my checkbook. So I didn't have them for him anyway. He said, I knew you were going to do that. I knew you weren't going to have them. I'm like, well, I tried. A lot on my mind. Oh, shoot. Brothers are great. All right, so we've got that. Again, we're still able to open our panels. I'm going to go ahead and put adhesive just on the back right side of my greeting. I want that to extend beyond and fill up the space. Okay, there we go. And where did those little gems go? I think I'm going to just have I might have, no, I'm going to have just enough gems to finish the cards. I think that's the first time I've used all the gems in a kit. So I see them in the centers of the flowers here. And wherever I put the third one, oh no, there it is. I'm like, it came off, but it did not. We want a little bling up here. Again, we've got our triangular positioning, right? So there is a beautiful wedding card. I love that one. All right, and then the last one, I'm fussy cutting. Can you believe it? Hey, Deborah, good to see you. I know it's the weekend, it's the holiday, everybody's still celebrating. I get it. It's okay. So you could cut this and do a mount onto another card base, and you'd get two cards out of this. I was wrapping up, and I just went with the full card base, but you could absolutely cut it. This one I am going to fussy cut from the white card, and I'm going to line this up at 4 1/4. So hopefully I'm cutting right on the score line. Again, use this as your insert in your card if you need a white insert, right? Absolutely. It's a little bit heavier, a little bit different texture than our basic white, but don't let it go to waste. All right. So, oh, did I show you the card? Let me show you the card. There we go, right? So this is actually, I am not a fussy cutter. I don't really love that. And I'm actually going to trim this down a little bit too. Um, But this one was not hard to do at all. So I'm just going to cut that bottom off. Don't really need to since I'm going to be fussy cutting it out. But this way I'm going to be sure it fits on my card front the way I want it to. And I'm not even using my new scissors. Why? I don't really know. Because I do think they make fussy cutting easier. But tonight I'm using our snips. I think because that's what I used when I created the card, so I just decided to stay with it. And I know the trick is to move the cardstock, not the scissors. And you can't see my face right now, but the other trick is I have, when I'm not talking, obviously, I have my lips pursed together. I believe that's required when you're fussy cutting. Does anybody else think that? They really are. It's funny. And I every time I fussy cut, I'm like that. My mom's generation had the benefit of paper dolls, and she loved her paper dolls, and she fussy cut her paper dolls all the time. So she was very good at fussy cutting. And anytime I was teaching a class that she happened to be at, she always sat to my right. I would just hand her the fussy cutting while I continued on with the demonstration. Yeah. She didn't bequeath that skill to me. But this, truthfully, this one is very easy. It's probably one of the easiest fussy cutting jobs I've ever dealt with. And we're almost there. Oops. There we go. So that is obviously, I'm not using that for anything. We're going to bring in our card base. I'm just going to put it on here. Very, very easy, right? This is just the card base and that piece fussy cut out. We're going to do a little white heat embossing. Hopeful. No, we're not, because my heat tool is MIA. Oh, I've got one to my right. See if I can get it plugged in. Sometimes when I'm gone for a period of time, there's somebody in my household that takes over my studio and things get moved around and all that fun stuff. So, oh shoot, there went my light. Yeah, this isn't. I'm so used to it sitting there that I didn't even realize it wasn't there. Let's see if I can get the light back. Oh, there we go. All right, so I can't even put that in because the light is so loud it won't sit in under it. You like this one? Awesome. Let's get rid of all the goodies that I keep stored in my basket here or my tray. So these are all the Wow embossing powders. This, I do believe, yep, that's the white. And I keep extra pieces that I emboss in case I decide, oh, I can use that on this card. All right, so we are going to, I know now I have a huge mess on my table in front of me, but you're still with me, right? going to position that on there. I'm going to grab my greeting. You're in my thoughts. Nope, that's the wishing you comfort. Here it is. You're in my thoughts. We are going to grab our Versamark and our embossing buddy. Embossing buddy is so important because we need it to make sure that the static is gone from our cardstock, right? If there's static on your cardstock and you stamp and put the powder, the embossing powder onto it, then it will be, let's make sure we're straight, then it will have powder other places than where you want it. And it won't just stick to your greeting. So that's why it's important to use your embossing buddy. I tell you this only because probably for the first 3 years I stamped, I could never remember to use my embossing buddy. Does anybody else have that problem? I'm like, I've now lost the white embossing powder. And the other thing I always have handy is a brush. So that if it appears, I've got powder somewhere I don't want it, I can can easily brush it off. Maybe where I don't want to brush off. And this is actually in the design of the layer, so I don't have to worry about brushing that off. Okay. And hopefully you're not hearing the embossing folder either. Oh, good. I'm not alone. That makes me feel better. Sticking your tongue out helps too when you're fussy cutting. Yes, I probably have done that a time or two as well. See, we are a sisterhood. All right, so that you're in my thoughts. That is so good for so many different reasons, that greeting, right? I am really trying not to knock the heat tool onto the floor, but I'm also trying to find my tabletop now. I am going to put my powder back in because if I don't, you and I both know it's going to end up all over the floor. And a while back, we replaced our carpeting in my studio because really carpeting in a stamper studio, probably not your best option. With vinyl planking, which I thought would be great and so easy to vacuum up. And I just thought I was going to be in love with it right up until I wasn't. It does not sweep up easily. It has a grain in it, which I'm not sure we physically knew when we ordered it. And yeah, not so happy with my vinyl planking, but it will get replaced someday. Okay. And then our final 3 gems. And we have created 4 alternates with a few of the card bases, or at least the card fronts, left over. We're going to put one right there. And then the other 2 are going to go in the center of these flowers. Just adds a little something to the center. And I have something I can throw away, and it's empty. Oh my gosh, does anybody else celebrate that? Because I celebrate that all the time. Now, I should not have put that white away because we're not quite done with it. This one, I used one of the die cuts because I do have a couple remaining die cuts too, right? And I thought, oh, how pretty would that be? So real quick, we're going to heat emboss that and we'll be done. So again, embossing buddy, sending love, Versamark. Let's pour that back on there. Why did I clean that up? I'm not really sure. Thanks, Judy. Again, we're just going to set that out of the way for a temporary moment. And we're going to heat emboss this. Without completely scorching off my fingerprints. There we go. Because no, I have a clothespin right there on the thing, but I decided to hold that with my fingers. Okay. Put that away, put that away. I'm like, where did the embossing buddy go? Oh my goodness. My table is a disaster. My table's always a disaster after a live. Because I don't put anything away because I don't want to waste time with you. I want to be crafting with you, right? I can clean up later. Okay. So see, it's easy to tell which side to use too, because the other side is, of course, white. And again, I'm going to bring in that liquid glue because, again, I don't want this getting damaged. It is on the inside of the card, so it's less likely to have interference with the envelope as you're putting it in, but better safe than sorry. And straight is always good. But, you know, if it goes all crooked, go with it and just right crooked across the card base. Then it looks straight. Oh, thank you, Christy. All right, so let me pull these back in so you can see what they recommended and then what I did, because I am a rebel sometimes. So there's the first one, the second one, and I believe this was their original. Okay. That's what the instructions that come in the kit will teach you or will show you or walk you through or whatever you want to call it when you're creating. Okay. So those are the ones per the kit. And then here are the ones. This one's so similar. It's kind of funny because I did the originals the first day, and then the second day I worked on my alternates with just a little bit of addition. And like I said, I still have at least one full card base. Like I have this full card base that I could get 2 cards out of. And I think I still have one of these card bases. Maybe, maybe not. Might just be this. But I can still get 2 more cards out of it if I want to. So you could get, what is that? 9 cards, 10 cards, 11 if you go ahead and cut this down. 12 actually. So what do you think? I thought it was a great kit. I think it's elegant. I think it makes beautiful thinking of you cards, sympathy cards, whatever you want to do with those greetings. You don't really need any other greetings because they cover such a magnitude of occasions. And really, other than that piece, this is the card that I introduced something other than, plus the embossing, obviously. But you could stamp that in the Night of Navy and it would show up just fine. So there you have it, ladies. Thank you so much for tuning in, and gentlemen, if any of you are watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this first night of summer camp. Sunday nights will be this kind of project for the month of July, right? Things that you can take on the road with you if you are traveling and you're going somewhere and you want to be a little crafty on the downtimes. Things that you could take to a park if your kids are out playing, right? This would be an easy kit to take along to the park. Maybe make some new crafty friends while you're sitting there stamping. All right, you all have a great week. I am going to be live Tuesday as far as I know. My week is really crazy. I'm going to do it, but I'm probably going to be live at noon because I may be going down to the Nest Tuesday night. I'm not sure yet, and I don't want to wait till the last minute. So let's just say I'll be live Tuesday at noon. If you aren't available to watch then, just make sure you come back and watch the replay. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked tonight's video. And if you have not hit that subscribe button, please do so and ring that bell so you are notified when I go live the next time. Have a great rest of your night and a good beginning to your week. And I'll hope to see you Tuesday right here at noon. Thanks, guys. Bye.